Thank you very much for speaking to us this morning. That's Daniel Johnson, Labour MSP for Edinburgh Southern. It is 19 minutes past 8.
Now, GCHQ is offering politicians advice on preventing cyber attacks after concern about Kremlin interference in US and German elections. The warnings are about attacks on Parliament, constituency offices and individuals' email accounts. Well, Professor Bill Buchanan from the Cyber Academy at Edinburgh Napier University joins us. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
And how serious is this threat?
It's extremely serious when you think that we're increasingly leaving a digital footprint around the internet every time we use email, web accesses, telephone access. Everything is really being logged, and so there is opportunities for criminals to make use of that information.
So have politicians, as far as you know, made any moves to try and protect themselves at the moment?
There is moves. Obviously, there is a large-scale investment within the UK, especially through GCHQ, in protecting our critical national infrastructure. But it's often people that are the weaknesses in these things. Things like spear phishing is often attack. And it doesn't actually have to go to the person. It might be someone related to them, such as a PA. You actually find that about 44% of all spear phishing attacks are through
Spear
IT.
phishing?
Spear phishing. Well, spear phishing is when you get that nice little email from the HMRC that says that you must pay your tax account and you must click on a link, and you actually find the link takes you to a site that isn't the HMRC, and you can obviously lose your credentials.
Of course, a lot of what we do now, we do using mobile technology, and does that make it much easier for criminals to target people?
Yeah, so much of the communications that we have on the internet are typically done through a secure medium, but unfortunately telephone access is still one of those things that tends not to be secured. Things like location tracking of mobile phones can actually pinpoint exactly where you are at any given time, and you'll actually find there are traces of your footprint all over the internet.
What would be, if you're just looking at politicians, what would be the motive of criminals? Because you can see, well, they might want to access kind of, private information, that kind of thing. They might want to influence some kind of outcome like an election. But often for cyber criminals and cyber attackers, the motive is financial, and it's hard to see what the financial gain would be.
Well, I disagree to a certain extent. I mean, obviously there's a financial benefit there through extortion and embarrassment, but hacktivism is on the increase. Obviously, if someone has a political agenda, then they might go after a politician to either embarrass them or their party. So I don't think it's a clear cut. Really, the crimes of the past are now done in a digital space. What
kind of advice do you think GCHQ will be offering to these politicians?
Well, I think strong encryption is one of the things. Authentication, for example, for high-risk things, for sending information that could be politically sensitive, we should be using biometrics such as fingerprints, face recognition, and voice pattern recognition.
Of course, as soon as you actually tighten things up, then the criminals get a bit more savvy, really, don't you? And it's quite difficult, don't they, rather? It's quite difficult keeping one step ahead.
Oh, it is absolutely possible. There are almost an infinite number of ways that somebody could be approached. If an organisation really wants to get information, then they might pay someone to go and get a job inside the company, maybe even working as a PA and get access to privileged passwords and so on.
You're from the Cyber Academy, and it's interesting, isn't it, that we're seeing many more courses through universities offering this kind of specialism.
Yeah, well, if you think about it, the foundations that we made in the past really are being rebuilt within software. So all our environments, the way that we live these days, the places that we inhabit are built through software, and they don't respect boundaries as they did in the past.
Well, Bill Buchanan, thank you very much. Joining us there from Edinburgh Napier University, 23 minutes past 8.